I'll begin with the prayer. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityo ma amritam gamaya abhirabhirma iti rudrayate dakshinamukam te namam pahi nityam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. Light us through and through, and guide us evermore with thy loving presence. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. As most of you know, Swami Chaitanananda, who normally conducts our Sunday service, is in Chicago this weekend doing a retreat and also speaking on Sunday morning at our Chicago Center. And we're very happy that in his absence, Swami Yogatmananda, who is in charge of our Vedanta Society in Providence, Rhode Island, could be here to speak to us. Swami came here once before in March of last year to speak at our annual function honoring the birth anniversary of Sri Ramakrishna. And he's only been in the country for about 3 years, I think. Yeah. I think he actually, Swami came in June 3 years ago. And he doesn't really travel a lot most of the time. He stays in the Providence area. So we're fortunate to have him visit here twice within that time frame. And his topic this morning is how to use money.
Om Brahma me tumam Madhu me tumam Brahma meva Madhu me tumam Brahma medhaya Madhu medhaya Brahma meva Madhu medhaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May Brahman, the absolute truth, be realized by me. May the highest bliss be realized by me. May Brahman, who is the highest bliss, be realized by me. May I realize Brahman by purification of heart. May I realize the absolute bliss through purification of heart. May I realize Brahman, who is the absolute bliss through purification of heart. Peace, peace, peace. So good morning, friends. Happy to be here again after a gap of about a year or so. And I like this center. I have been hearing about this center for long. First because of association of Satprakashananda and then association with Swami Chetanananda. I like the books of Swami Satprakashananda, and even in my early monastic days, our mentors used to tell that read Satprakashananda's books. They give you a very good idea of Vedanta, and also how the lives of Sri Ramakrishna and Vivekananda express this in modern terms. And later on, we read a lot of books by Swami Chetanananda. So even before my coming to US, I was kind of tuned to St. Louis Center. Never thought that I will be able to say it, but then uh, when I came to US, I took last year the first opportunity to be here, and I'm glad that I got another opportunity too. So coming to the topic that we have today, a bit strange topic. I had spoken on this topic earlier first in Boston, our Vedanta Society in Boston, and then when the topic was announced, naturally people were somewhat intrigued. Why this kind of topic? Some suggested that first of all, it is not a Vedanta topic at all. We should not be discussing it in Vedanta societies. Secondly, they said that why? Well, the more important thing is how to earn money should have been the topic. That should have brought more audience to listen to it. Why? We all know pretty much how to use it. Let it come to us. Then we will decide how to use it. Do we get enough first of all? Let first of all enough money come to us. Then we will decide how to use it. So first topic should be how to earn money. And how to use, we'll see about it later on. So I said, no, how to use money is more important than how to earn money. That gives us, first of all, that the perspective that what money can be used for. Then I spoke on this very subject in another Vedanta society. And then here I am speaking for the third or fourth time. Once I spoke on this topic in Providence too. So when Chetananandaji heard this topic that I am going to speak, he said, well, his tone sounded not too happy with the choice of the subject. But he decided not to say it very bluntly and asked me, well, I'm curious. What made you choose this topic and how do you connect it with our Vedanta theme? It is, I don't see any connection with speaking on this topic and connecting it. Please explain to me, what are you going to speak? He wanted that his beloved Vedanta devotees here should not be served something that is not a Vedanta portion. So, so he was particular about it, that what I am going to speak. So I explained in a few words. And before that, another Swami where I had gone to speak, very senior Swami, when he heard, he was pretty much blunt about his disapproval of this subject. He immediately told me, because we invited you to speak in our Vedanta center doesn't mean that you can speak on anything. Change the topic. I am now almost on my deathbed. I have heard so many nice speeches on Vedanta. Right from, he told many great speakers in India and here too. And in my whole monastic life of 60 years, I have never heard anybody speaking on such a weird topic. So change the topic. But then when I said no, I had spoken on this topic earlier also and found that the people have liked it. He, well, in a kind of resigned this thing, he said, hey, do whatever you want. he has been now accustomed to, the younger generation's uh, ways. So he thought that now let them do whatever they like. So he agreed. But when he heard the lecture, he was sitting right in the front row, and then he was really very happy. So you can also hope to be happy after the talk. What I like about Vedanta is that it is very practical. The most important theme is to tackle our practical day to day problems. We can't ignore them. Religion is something that is there to help us in our practical life. Our practical life needs to be transformed and make it divine. We have the potential divinity, and we have to manifest it. That is what Swami Vivekananda has told us. And this is to be done practically. So we have to face our day to day problems. And one of them, rather, I would say, one of the most important problems is that of money. We hear in Vedanta and all other religious scriptures that we should not be craving for money. Craving for money is a big obstacle in spiritual life. We hear Sri Ramakrishna denouncing woman and gold, or the money, the craving for wealth and craving for enjoyment. He denounced them in no uncertain terms. And we appreciate the logic behind it. We understand it. But then, well, what to do? Without money, we find nothing can be done. Even to run Vedanta Society, we need money, isn't it? What to speak of other things? Even to arrange programs like this, you need money. To live our day, to satisfy our day to day needs, we need money. Lot of our life is spent in running after money. Can we stop it? We feel confused when we read this great advice, which of course intellectually does appeal to us. It appeals to our heart also. But what about our practical day to day needs? Should we stop earning money? We find that that's practically impossible. We have to earn money. We have to have money. We may not earn. If somebody has kept lot of heritage money for us, we may not earn. But then we need money. In our day to day life, we need money. Everything you have to buy, and you have to spend money. There is no free lunch, and we have to pay for that in some terms of the others. So money is a must. So how should be our approach to money? So this is a very important practical problem that we need to deal with to be really practically spiritual in our life. Otherwise, well, on one level, we are spiritual when we come to Vedanta Society, or when we are meditating in the shrine, and we are intensely spiritual. Think that, well, I don't have any wants, I am pure self, and all that. But after an hour or so of meditation, then, well, I have to go to market. I open my purse. Where is the money? I have to run and get money. So it will kind of cleaves the life in two halves, uh, unconnected two halves. My practical life and my spiritual life. And this morning, when we were discussing the topic with Nishpapananda, he told one very significant feature of Vivekananda's teachings, that he has removed that fictitious line of demarcation between the secular and the sacred. He completely removed this line. There is no real division between the sacred and the secular. What we consider as secular needs to be made sacred. That is what a spiritual life means. Spiritual life means in our every aspect of life, that spark of spirituality must enter and illuminate. We cannot just be ignoring problems. We must rather take them, as they say, take the bull by the horn. We should take these problems in a very serious manner, without ducking under them. We should see what they are. They are our practical difficulties. So let us try to understand what this idea of money all is all about. Why do we crave for money? What do we get from it? What it can give and what it cannot give. Let us try to feel this. What money can give us, what money cannot give us. Most of the confusion takes place because we expect from money what it basically cannot give. So, if we understand what money can give and limit our expectations from money only to that domain, only to that field, then this confusion will go away. So, it is important to understand, important to learn what money can, in principle, be able to give and what it cannot give. To understand the idea or the concept of money, as we all know, it is an abstraction. We barter things earlier. When the idea of money in primitive societies, people used to exchange things. You take this, and then instead of that, I will give you this. I have this in excess, you have that in excess. I want this from you. So in terms of what I have, I would pay the other person. But that used to be quite cumbersome. Recently in Providence, we had that kind of an arrangement. We exchanged our buildings with the Wheeler School. Earlier we were at 224 Angel Street, but that building was wanted by the school. So we said that, we have no objection. We can understand that we are right in the middle of your other buildings. So it would be nice if you get this building, it will be good for you. And our only requirement is we should get another suitable building close by. So they bought another building right in front of across the road. And so we were then given the building at 227 Angel Street, and they took this building from us. So it was an exchange of building. Instead of exchange of money, they took this building and gave us another building. So without actual exchange of money, this was done. So money brings all this at a common footing, so that the exchange becomes easier. Exchange can be done with something that is commonly available with all, something that can be reduced to a common level, so that exchange on a very broad basis, exchange of goods becomes possible. If exchange of goods is not there in say in connection with exchange of money, then money has no value. Money has to represent something, some actual goods. Otherwise, there is no value to the money. Karl Marx, I would like to quote from him. He has given in my whatever I had read about it till now, the most forceful presentation of why people crave for money. What do they get by money? What is this money all about? Why money has such an immense power to control the lives of almost all people? What is this money? Karl Marx has a very forceful way of presentation. And although in United States we are not too fond of Karl Marx, yet we have to accept these ideas. And even capitalists also, so far as this description of money by Marx goes, will be in total agreement with Karl Marx. He says what this money is. I am quoting from his article, The Power of Money. By possessing the property of buying everything, by possessing the property of appropriating all objects, money is thus the object of eminent position. The universality of its property is the omnipotence of its being. It is therefore regarded as omnipotent. Money is the precursor between man's need and the object, between his life and the means of life. That which is for me through the money, that for which I can pay, that am I myself. I become, so to say, Marx's language sometimes is very poetic. It is as if it is I myself, what I can buy, that I become, so to say, myself. That gives the money its tremendous power. The extent of the power of money is the extent of my power. Money's properties are the possessor's properties and essential powers. Thus, what I am and am capable of is by no means determined by my individuality. See, this is how the power of money works. What I am is, this is a very important statement. What I am is not determined by my individuality, but how much money I have. Because by that money, I can change everything. I can change my power. I can change my perception of others and others' perception of mine. It becomes changed because of power of money. And then he, in a bit blunt way, he expresses, I am ugly, but I can buy for myself the most beautiful of women. Therefore, I am not ugly, for the effect of ugliness, its deterrent power, is nullified by money. I, according to my individual characteristics, am lame, but money furnishes me with 24 feet. A big limousine can be bought by me, and thus my lameness is no more lameness. Therefore, I am not lame. I am bad, dishonest, unscrupulous, stupid. But money is honored, and hence its possessor. Money is the supreme good, therefore, its possessor is good. Money, besides, saves me the trouble of being dishonest. In that beautiful play by George Bernard Shaw, The Pygmalion, you know uh, that Mr. Doolittle, those of you who have read that may be knowing that character, a poor guy, and then somehow used to make his two ends meet. And then and that professor, when he said about morality, and what about morality? He said, Professor, I can't afford it. So, if I have money, I am not dishonest, you see. I can afford to be honest then. I am therefore presumed honest. I am brainless. But money is the real brain of all things. And how then should its possessor be brainless? Besides, he can buy clever people for himself. And is he who has a power over the clever not more clever than the clever? Do not I, who thanks to money, am capable of all that the human heart longs for, possess all human capacities? Does not my money therefore transform all my incapacities into their contrary? If money is the bond binding me to human life, binding society to me, connecting me with nature and man, Is not money the bond of all bonds? Can it not dissolve and bind all ties? It is therefore also the universal agent of separation. Money separates, classifies people, the rich and the poor, the haves and the don't haves. So, it is the coin that really separates as well as the real binding agent. And then he says that it is the inverter of everything. As we saw, all our capabilities or non capabilities can be converted into capabilities by just power of money. Money then appears as the distorting power both against the individual and against the bonds of society, etc. It transforms fidelity into infidelity, love into hate, hate into love, virtue into vice, vice into virtue, servant into master, and master into servant, idiocy into intelligence, and intelligence into idiocy. Since money, as the existing and active concept of value, confounds and confuses all things, makes the world upside down. The world is turned upside down with money. It is not for nothing that we run after money so much. This is, we may not agree uh, at a conscious level to everything that he says, but at a deeper level, our actions suggest that we really agree to everything that Karl Marx has said because we believe in the power of money. If we have money, then so to say, we have everything that we seek in life. This money, therefore, runs as a big undercurrent governing our day to day lives in this particular world that we are. It inverts everything, and really, it inverts everything. That which is real by the power of money starts becoming unreal. And therefore, the seekers of truth must beware of this power of money. They must be aware of it and also must beware of it. Because if we think in these terms, we really are thinking about the inverted things. That which is worth possessing appears to be not worth possessing, and that which is not worth possessing starts manifesting as something worth possessing. So, this important idea about money is to be seen, and what happens when people, therefore, clinging to this idea, start running after money? Well, they lose sight of the reality, therefore. A question had been asked thousands of years ago in a discussion of husband and wife. There was a great sage, Yajnavalkya, and he had decided to renounce the world and take to an itinerant hermit's life. He had two wives, and then he therefore decided that whatever wealth he had accumulated, evenly distribute between his two wives because he didn't want them to quarrel afterwards. So he told them, well, I am dividing my wealth, I am leaving this world, and so I am dividing my property evenly between you two before I leave. So one of them, her name Katyayani, she accepted whatever money she got, thanking that, well, at least he had enough sense to keep money for us. So he is anyway living, and we always thought that he is not the right person. But then, uh, but anyway, he had enough sense to keep some money for me. So she took the money. The other wife, Maitreyi, her name, and she has become immortal in the Indian Upanishadic characters by her one question about the power of money. She was getting money. Her husband was going away from her. She asked the husband, "You are giving me money. Tell me, by this money, will I become immortal? Will I become blissful?" The Sanskrit word amrita has these two meanings. Tenaham kim amritasyam, that was her question. And uh, amrita has both this meaning, immortality and bliss. So she, as it were, asking, "Will I become immortal thereby? Will I get the bliss?" And Yajnavalkya, he gave a categorical answer. Very clear answer, no ambiguity about it. Giving what money can bring and what money cannot bring. He said, "No. यथैव उपकरणवतां जीवितं तथैव ते जीवितं स्यात् मैत्रेयी अमृतस्य तु नाशास्ति वित्तेन." He said, your life will become like the life of people. He is telling the utility of money. That with money your life will become like the life of so many people having money. You will have lot of gadgets, lot of other things around you. You will have quite a few things around you. But you cannot get immortality or happiness. Not only you cannot get, na ashasti, and there is not even the hope of getting them through money. So the idea that we will lead a happy life if we have lot of money has to be given up. Money can give something. What can it give? So many things can be brought around us by money. Certain things can be used, certain become only a burden. It is, we know, in every place this thing is there. And Providence, we have a wonderful devotee. She is a very nice lady, and every time she goes to market, she buys something for the Vedanta Society. Now, after my making a little fun of her, she has reduced that habit. But she buys the things. Why? Swami, it was so cheap, they were selling it only for $1.10. $1.10, see, it is, and otherwise the price is $3. I said, okay, very nice, I understand. But what are we going to use it for? Hey, it will sit here for a few days, then it will somehow it will be shoved in a shelf, and after that it will find its place in the attic, and maybe one day we will be cleaning the attic and put it into junk. What is the use for this thing? You are buying it, no doubt, you are spending money, but do you have any use of that thing here? That is the question. Hey, do we have any use for it here? They say that the women are more intelligent than men. Men do not really know how to frugally spend money. Women are clever in that respect. A man, they say, if he wants a thing, pays $2 for a $1 worth thing and gets it. A woman, as she bargains well, and then a $2 thing she gets for $1. Only thing is that she never needed it. So, so people buy just because they are cheap, It is the fun of it, what money can bring. It is these things money can easily bring in life. Can it bring happiness? Yajnavalkya said, no. That cannot bring happiness in one's life. Money can bring so many, it will fill your house with so many things. And after a while, you will wonder what is to be done with all this, because new things keep on coming. And then what is to be done with all the old things? It becomes a big problem. So, the answer was very important. What happens when people clutter their life with so many things around them? A great American saint, Thoreau, in his book Walden, has written a very nice description of what happens when people start working for money. Then money doesn't remain the means, it becomes the end. But men labor under a mistake. I'm quoting from his book Walden. But men labor under a mistake. The better part of men is soon plowed into the soil for compost. Most men, even in this comparatively free country, through mere ignorance and mistake, are so occupied with the factitious cares and superfluously coarse labors of life that its finer fruits cannot be plucked by them. Their fingers, from excessive toil, are too clumsy and tremble too much for that. He has no time to be anything but a machine. How can he remember well his ignorance, which his growth requires, who has so often to use his knowledge? Their whole life is spent in getting money. So, who becomes the master? Money becomes the master. Money makes you work. Money then doesn't make remain means to an end, but just end in itself. People go on earning money. It is uh, there are two classes of people who earn money and spend it. They know the utility of money, earn and spend. The power of money is like that. It is, suppose money is sitting with you, it is no money. Its value is realized only when you buy something. And when you buy something, what happens? Money is gone. You cannot hold money. The problem with money is you cannot hold money. It keeps on going. It doesn't stay. The Sanskrit word for money is therefore this artha, which literally, it's, if you look at its root meaning, it is from this root is re, which means to go. So money is that which goes. Its worth is only when it goes. If you hold it, it is not money. Is it money when it is just sitting with you? It is not. It is only when you spend it, it becomes money, and then it goes. You cannot, have it and it. Then it doesn't remain money. As if you just have it, if you just hold it, it ceases to be money. And as soon as it becomes money, it starts going. You see, it cannot stay. So, money is some such things. Those who realize this, they don't hoard money. Many people find satisfaction in just this imagination that they have earlier, last year they had 1 million, and this year they have now 2 millions. What difference does it make? It doesn't really make any difference, just a feeling. Not that they have bought anything by that, or if they are using something by that. No, it is just a feeling that I had 1 million last year and now I have increased it to 2 millions. That gives a feeling of happiness. So, this is a particular category of people, because money becomes the end. You don't spend money because you are afraid, then it will diminish. So, you want to hold on to money without spending it. And as you do not spend it, it loses its value. It doesn't remain money anymore. So money is money as long as it flows, it goes. So if it stops running, then you lose the power that is associated with it. People feel that just by running after money, they can get everything in life, as it is characterized by Marx, these statements. But what does money can give you? It is a big force that binds us. We get enslaved more and more with this just idea that let me earn more money. Mm. And when somebody points out, or their own conscience points out, that this is enough, isn't it? Met some senior people, old people. You have earned enough, isn't it? Yes, yes, we have enough. Then, well, the person says, I'm just now thinking about my children. So you then start hoarding for your children. Then, well, like that it goes on. The money has such a stranglehold on one's these things, the one's workings, that even though your apparent needs are satisfied, you still keep on working. Money makes you work. At one place in when I was in Nagpur, one gentleman, very wealthy person, he once came to me. He used to come sometimes to the center, not very often, but was a very sincere devotee. But because of his occupation with money, couldn't come much. So once he told me that it was what his words were a very big eye opener for me. He said, "Look, Swami, what happens is I really have enough money, not only myself but even my many generations can survive on what is with me, but still this idea of working for money doesn't let me sit still and think about my real good. I feel that I should come more to Vedanta. I should meditate. I should think about God more and more. But somebody from my inside, this money propels me, no, go to work. So it is, I have become slave, so to say, to this money. I don't need to work, but this money makes me work. And otherwise, I would have been spending my time in prayers and meditation, and then doing so many other service activities. I like to do that, but because of this tremendous stranglehold of money, now I feel powerless to do that. It makes me move. Another person expressed this in another way, that we have this, as we read from this Marx words, we feel that money can really buy everything. Can money really buy everything? One gentleman, he said, he came from a poor family, a poor background. So every time he felt that he is hindered by the lack of money. Look at others, how they are able to do so many things. I cannot do because I don't have enough money. So he made it a kind of um, goal in life to be a rich man. And as the wish of God, he became a fairly rich person. He became a very successful doctor and earned lot of money. So once he chanced to meet me, and he was telling me about all these things, and said that those days I used to think that money can buy everything. His words continuously ring in my ears. Said once during those days I used to think that money can buy everything, and now I have a lot of money. Now I have realized that money can buy very little, and that little is trash. That little is trash, friends. What is trash? Trash means that which satisfies just our animal needs. Sri Ram Krishna pointed out what money can buy. Well, you can have a house to live in, you can have food to eat, you can have clothes to wear on. So these things you can buy with money. What else can you buy with money? Nothing more than that. Only finer varieties of house. Say you are living in a house, instead of living in a hut, you can build a big mansion, a palatial mansion for you. How much space you live in actually? A very small space you live in. You don't require that big place. Only it becomes a big botheration. You have to take care of many things, as Solomon in Ecclesiastic says that the more you have, the more you are hounded. The more you have, the more you have to defend. That is our condition. That more we have, the more we have to, that burglar things, and then because then the burglar can get in. If I don't have anything that burglar can take, then I don't have to worry about it. But then otherwise the burglar has the temptation, they and then I have to defend against the burglar. I have to put something to stop the burglar, and the burglar of course are they are one step ahead of all these things. So they invent something to beat the burglar alarm. They you put something more instead of that, and then they beat that. You build a big police force, to protect yourself. A lot of money. Imagine how much money is spent in keeping the police force. To protect money, you spend so much money to build the police force for that. And then the thieves always they are again one step ahead of the police. So many things get stolen. You complain to the police. In fun sometimes we say certain things got stolen from our backyard. I asked our Joan there, hey, did you complain to the police? She laughed and said, what the police, they will say that, well, had you caught the thief and brought it to us, then we would have done something, you see. Now, since, well, we do not know where he is, so how can we help you? We are sorry for what you lost. So it is like that. We have so many things, and then we need to protect that, so we keep on worrying ourselves with all that. In our marsh field, asked our devotee who takes care of those that place there, Joe, you don't put on those lock those places or lock those houses. Why are you not locking? He says, what is there to take in this? What is there? People can't take anything. They will find better things in the dumpsters, you say. So, because I bring all those things from the dumpster, so people will think that why she go and get the things from here? Better to go directly to the dumpster. So, he is quite free a guy, doesn't have to worry about, locking the places and keeping them. And yet, we can live happily there. In fact, in summer, we go there as a retreat place. Whatever is required for our daily needs, all those things are there. And so we don't have to worry about thieves, because thieves are not going to take all the trouble of coming over there and breaking, because there is nothing much there that they can take with. So he is such a happy person and doesn't have to defend this thing. Sri Ramakrishna used to tell that story of a person. He was a barber to a king, and then in living a more or less happy life, king's barber, and the king was giving him good salary and tips off and on. So he was maintaining himself and his family very well. But one night when he was sleeping, he saw a dream. Some goddess came into his dream and told him that there is such and such place in the forest nearby. Go there under that tree, dig, and you will find 7 jars filled with gold. And now the dream ended there, and that disturbed his sleep. Even the thought of wealth, first thing is that earlier he was sleeping well, now he lost the sleep. So, and then after thinking about it 2 or 3 days, didn't tell anybody. With If you have money, then you are secretive about it, because others should not know. And unless others know, what is the use of money? You have to exhibit the ornaments that you have. And then when you exhibit, you make an announcement to the burglars and the thieves that I have these things with me. And unless you show to the people, you wear those $1 million things around your necks, and then you see, unless you show to the people, and you have to tell also, that how much I paid for this. Guess. And then the people put forward some modest guess. No, you are far off the mark. This cost me 1 million. Can you imagine? So you feel that yes, that you have wealth to show. So you other and on the other hand, you have to be secretive about it. So this fellow didn't tell anybody in his home. After 2 3 days, he became so disturbed. He decided that he must go, and in the dead of the night, he went there and the designated place and found, yeah, indeed, the goddess did not lie after all. There were those 7 jars, and he brought them at home. And again, closing all the doors, he opened them and saw 6 of them were full of gold. Seventh was partially full. A little space was remaining there, a little empty. So he decided to fill that also, mm, by his earnings. So he decided to live more frugally. Before he got that money, he was living more or less comfortably. But now he decided to live a frugal life because he wanted to fill that 7 jar too. And then he asked the king for a raise. That king, the prices are spiraling, you see. So king said, okay, it's a good fellow. So he gave him a raise. And then after that also, he again went on, every month or so he went on asking for a raise. And the king said that, well, 3 times you have asked raise, I wonder. And even though I am giving you raise, I find that you are not maintaining yourself well. You are becoming skinnier and skinnier. Stopped eating or what? And asked him, uh, have you got those 7 jars? Remember, the seventh jar is never filled. It is never filled. We all have that idea that I will become such and such wealthy person. Money, it distorts everything. The goals are completely changed. Instead of my owning the money owns me, and then makes me work. One has to be very cautious about it. We must use money. Decide, yes, these are the things that money can bring me. It is, I have seen many happy people, friends, who were just living hand to mouth, and yet I could see the freedom that they had in their life. It is not that money brings more freedom and more happiness in life. Certainly not. I will certainly not commit the mistake of saying that after seeing so many poor people who were certainly happier than many moneyed people that I have seen. So, it is really not that money brings happiness, not at all. It is, in fact, we must see that whatever money we have, we should use it properly. If we are not able to use it, give it up. Give to somebody else who can make use of it. It is important that the money is used for what it can bring, and should not expect that money can bring happiness. money can bring immortality, money can make me a great person. Let us never think like that. By money, nobody can ever become great. It is the slavery to money that becomes a very big problem in our lives. There is a very beautiful doha of Kabir. Kabir was a great Sufi saint, and he said, I am just folding it to give you an indication that I am not going to prolong too long. So, need not be restless. So, the point is that Kabir said that Pani badhe nao mein. I see some faces whom I guess they can understand Hindi. So I am quoting the original. Pani badhe nao mein, घर में बाढ़े दाम, दोहू हाथ उलीचिए, यही सयानो काम. That you are suppose rowing in a boat in a river or something, and water starts getting into the boat. He compares it to money coming into the house. Money coming into the house and water getting into the boat. In both cases, what wise man should be doing? With all efforts, put it out. Otherwise, you will sink. The boat will sink, the house will sink. Many houses, many good families, they came to great loss because of excess of money. The children, they got used to easy money, easy ways, and then got into so many problems. Had there been less money, probably they would have been much better off. So money has its use. Let us use it for that purpose. It whatever money we have, it can bring us whatever that food is necessary. Some kind of rudimentary residence is necessary, and some kind of rudimentary garments are necessary. Use it for that purpose. If you have more money, again you are going to use it for this purpose only. Use it, doesn't matter. But don't be slave to money. Don't work for money. Let us defend ourselves against this onslaught of this power of money. Let us not be slave to it. Let us use it. Let us not get used by it. That is what all spiritual aspirants, practical Vedantins must strive for. Let us use money. Swami Vivekananda, when somebody, he was writing very inspiring letters, do this, take up this work, take up this activity, take up that activity. And then one of his brother disciples wrote him, well, where is the money? We want to use, tell us that, or take up all these service works. Where is the money? Then he wrote that money is our slave. If we want money, money must come. If the work needs money, the money must come. We are not slaves of money. Have you ever seen that money has made a man? Who makes money? Man makes money or money makes man? It is always the man who makes money. So it is money should be for us and we not for the money. Then that will be a proper use of money. We shall not be enslaved by the power of money. Let us beware of that power of money. Swami Turiyananda, another illustrious disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, used to warn like that even if we have a little bit of money, a few cents in our pocket, then we start feeling these few cents will protect me. God is there, but God fails in that case. These few cents are there with me, they will come to my aid. So let us not harbor such foolish thoughts. Let us understand and utilize money for what it is worth. And let us not expect something that is beyond money from just from money. Thank you very much, friends.
I'll close with a prayer. Sahana bhavatu, sahano bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu, ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May Brahman protect us. May he guide us. May he give us strength and right understanding. May love and harmony be with us all. Peace, peace, peace.